You know, the scriptures tell us to cultivate thanksgiving and thankfulness and to abound with thanksgiving, to always be thankful. I don't know about you, but I'm regularly, if not constantly, smitten with the conviction that I am not thankful enough. When I stop and think about it, I have to admit I am not thankful enough. I'm not joyful enough. I'm not grateful enough. How about you? Do you think you're thankful enough, joyful enough, grateful enough? We can take so many things for granted. I heard the story of a tourist who went down to Mexico, and the guide took him to a place outside of a village where right side by side were hot and cold springs. And the villagers, the women in the village, would bring their laundry out to these hot and cold springs. They would wash it in the hot and then rinse it in the cold. And the tourist looked at that and said, wow, there must be much gratitude that Mother Nature has provided these hot and cold springs. And the guide said, no, senor, there is much complaining that she supplies no soap. Isn't that how it is? Instead of being grateful for what we have, we complain about what we don't have. The writer Andrew Dubus lost both of his legs after being hit by a car. And he asked his readers to imagine that they would only have in heaven what they had thanked God for on earth. Wow, that's a thought, isn't it? Imagine that you only had in heaven what you thank God for on earth. Dubus went on to say, he asked if any had ever thought to thank God for their hands and their arms and their legs. He said he hadn't. And he went on to say, if your right arm was a gadget you'd gotten for Christmas, you would be ecstatic. You would be ecstatic. And yet, how often we take it for granted and don't even give thanks for it. Colossians 2:7 in one translation says, be more thankful than ever before. The Message Bible says, let your living spill over into thanksgiving. Thanksgiving is a choice. It's not a feeling, it's not an emotion. Oh, it can come as a result of that, and it can be a part of it, but bottom line, Thanksgiving is a choice. We have to choose. Am I going to be thankful or complaining? Am I going to have gratitude or grumble? Make the choice. Be a thankful person. Be a thankful Christian. Cultivate thanksgiving. It's the life of the miraculous. It's the life of multiplications. It's the life of blessing. Tune in tomorrow, Sunday, as we start a new teaching. Share this with others.